Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. I understand that reading is one of the most difficult sections for most of the SAT, ACT exam takers. However, I am going to make this easy for you all today, and we are going to discuss how to skim through a SAT or a ACT reading passage. Before we go on, let's understand what skimming actually is. Skimming simply means that what should you focus on while you're reading the passage so that you understand the main idea of the given passage. In simple terms, we can say skimming means selective reading. That means you only read the things that are important to gather the main idea. Now, I will give you a few seconds to just think and analyze what can be the key areas that we should focus on while we are skimming the passage. The first one is the introduction and the conclusion paragraphs. Why do you think these are important? Well, introduction and conclusion paragraphs are important because these help you understand the main idea of the passage. For example, in this given passage, we are going to read the introduction and the conclusion paragraphs very carefully so that we understand what the passage is about, what is the main idea, etc. Uh, so these techniques apply for SAT as well as ACT. Here I have taken a ACT passage to explain how to skim. Okay, the second we have is the first and the last lines of each paragraph. Why do you think these are important? These are important because these help you understand the progression of ideas. For example, you should read all the first and the last lines so that you know what the particular paragraph is about. What is it that the paragraph is saying? It's very important. Next, we have is the transition words. What are transition words? Let's understand what are transition words. These are the words that help you establish a relationship between any two given ideas. The, the ideas can be contrasting, it can be a continuer, they can be contradicting. For example, however, furthermore, whether, although, etc. In this passage, we can see a lot of transition words used. For example, however, again, there is a however here. So we should take care of such transition words and understand why a particular transition word has been used. What is the transition between the two ideas given around that transition word? Next, we have shift in idea. What do we understand by shift in idea? While you skim, you should be able to figure out if there is any shift in idea taking place in the passage. The shift in idea can be something like old versus new. For example, a old technology versus a new technology. Any old research versus the new research, etc. For example, in this passage, the shift in idea takes place somewhere around this paragraph. I'll give you a few seconds to read and understand how the idea of the passage is shifting around this paragraph. Next, we have strong emotional language or extreme words. What is the difference between the two? What are strong emotional language and extreme words? To explain you, strong emotional language, these are the words that tell you about the emotions, the feelings, and these are very, very strong. For example, love, hate, annoy, etc. Whereas extreme words can be all, always, never, every. So, for example, here we have extreme words like never and words like egotistical, skeptical are the strong emotional language. Here's a tip, a very important tip. Generally, ACT or SAT passages are neutral in tone and will not have any strong or extreme words. However, if there, you should be able to understand why. Next is the unusual punctuation marks. What is unusual about the punctuation marks? Well, these are the these are not the punctuation marks that we see very often in our passages. We are not talking about full stops and commas here. Instead, we are talking about colons, semicolons, dashes, quotes, etc. These punctuation marks are used for a purpose. Try and understand why is it used in the passage. You can refer to our video on punctuation to understand the usage of punctuation marks. For example, here we have dashes, many dashes. Then we have quotations, important. Next, we have metaphors. I don't think so. I need to explain why metaphors or similes are important or what are similes and metaphors. Next is the bold or the italic words. Anything that is given in bold or italics is given there because the author wants the reader to take a note of those words. So you should be able to understand that. Very basic things like who the narrator is, introduction, if there is any introduction of new character, names, you should be taking a note of that. Then comes the chronological or the time words. What is the difference between chronological words and time words? Chronological words are the words that help you understand the chronology of the passage. For example, before, by the time, around, etc. Whereas time words are the words that indicate time. For example, morning, any year if given, a particular date or day, etc. If we look in this passage, we have a lot of chronological words, phrases, and time words. For example, that morning is a time word, by the time is a chronological phase, looking back, etc. These will help you understand the chronology of the passage and hence help you solve the questions that ask how is the passage organized. This is about skimming the passage. These are the key areas that you should take a note of while you're reading the passage so that you understand the main idea of the given passage. Now I'm going to answer a few frequently asked questions. First, should you read every line of the passage while reading? What do you think? Should you? The answer is yes. Always read every line, but focus on the key areas. What are the key areas? The points that we discussed above. Second, should you reread something if you are stuck or unable to comprehend? What do you think? The answer is no. Never reread until it is one of the key areas. For example, if you don't understand the introduction paragraph, reread because otherwise you're not going to understand the further information given. Very important question. How much time should you spend on reading a ACT or a SAT passage? What do you think? I recommend 3 to 4 minutes for a ACT passage and 4 to 5 minutes for a SAT passage are more than enough. Next, should you read questions before reading the passage? Simple, no. Never. Always read the passage before you answer the questions. The last one is, should you memorize details from the passage while reading? What do you think? Not exactly. Instead, you should remember the place or the area where is a particular detail given, where is which information given. So, remember the areas. No, we should say we should remember where is which information given. That's about today. I hope this video helps you. If you have any doubt, you can leave a comment in the comment section and we'll be coming up with a new video soon. Thank you.